This is an Alliance podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the For the Culture podcast, soccer podcast for us, by us, talking about the intersection of black culture and soccer. We are burning the midnight oil here at Trap House 3. Got your boy here, Grego here. You got Coach Tony trying to wake up, stay awake. One of you two. Let's get with you, man.
Coach Tony.
Alright in these streets.
I mean, you over here, doing the goodly work, and, me shaking hands and kissing babies.
I can't reveal what's happening.
We're TK on the ones and twos. What is up with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Chilling on a bit of a... Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It just worked out this way today.
Is that right? Is that right?
I'll go ahead and move at this point now. Here's your info. Apparently these things are collectible, so I went ahead and popped one of those. The Conte, obviously. Let's see what we're doing.
I mean, I'll give you that because the Conte had him a game today.
Yo, that man, the way he started that first goal, man. Woo.
Hey,
that play.
Hey, it's the vision to keep the pressure on, to follow your teammate, to support your teammate, rather.
Nope.
Yeah.
For him, there's no first goal.
Man, yeah. Before we go up in there,
at the bridge today. Woo, Lord.
Yeah, before we get up in there, of course, thank you guys for checking us out on your favorite podcast apps: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, all of them, and also on the FTC UTD YouTube channel where you can see these faces and all that good stuff. But yeah, man. So y'all got 2 cup finals, man. You over here about to kick your feet up, be like, you know what? This wasn't a bad year after all.
Hey, don't forget the work that Frank Lampard did. He laid the foundation.
I was going to mention that. I mean, DT, he's getting all his credit right now, and but it's kind of like how you talk about draft classes and everything like that, recruiting classes with some teams. And you're like, that's Frank's team, man. That was Frank's squad.
Exactly, and it probably would have been a lot different, though. I will say, Tuchel is responsible for things like the getting the best out of Ben Chilwell, because there was no Alonso. Alonso was out of the team, so there's no competition for left back.
Okay,
it is not really a threat, to be fair. So it's like things like that. Tuchel's responsible for. So not to one is better than the other, or less, or that kind of thing. But just to, point out they both matter.
You had a Timo Werner sighting today too.
Yo, was that planned?
No,
was that planned?
Hey, he gets benched if that doesn't go in.
I mean, he was like a foot away. It's like, yeah, can't make it, can't miss this, gonna make it.
I mean, that's exactly how his face looked. He was like, oh my god.
Don't mess up.
Oh man.
It was like Fernando Torres. Did anybody see that meme? That meme.
We'll never forget that. That was at Old Trafford. I remember that missed goal vividly.
Well, somebody memed Timo Werner's face onto Fernando Torres' body, and that from that year in the jersey. It's a nice reminder.
Cold blood
with strikers at Chelsea.
Cold blood. I mean, it's funny because for all the shit that Havertz has got and Werner got, I mean, it's like they showed up today.
They played well.
I said this about 12 weeks ago.
I mean, like
the problem.
I know, right? But yeah, they managed to pull it through 2-0 at home, and of course they will be playing. Man,
time out, Grego. Hold up, man.
What's up?
You gotta give flowers to the Black Keeper Union.
Oh, Mendy. Oh my God.
Come on now.
Yo.
Mendy just another shutout. I mean, he stepped up when called upon. It was interesting, Michael was saying something as far as like analysis about keepers. Of course, you want to be actively involved, and it's always tough as a keeper. Like a lot of times when you make a great save, or when you're playing, when you're touching the ball a lot. I don't put games when you're not touching the ball. You know what I'm saying? But if you're getting a lot of touches, then that means you lose. Your reaction time is usually quick and everything. And you can step up and make those amazing saves, and that's exactly what Mendy did today. I mean, first of all, that first shot that went down low to his left, that he was able to parry around the post. That I thought was a guaranteed goal right there. And the way he got down quickly, was able to palm it away around the post. Excellent.
Yeah,
then the other one, the header, to catch that, to palm that over, parry it over the crossbar at point blank range, pretty much. I mean, that's all reactionary where you're not even thinking. That was an excellent save. I mean, Mendy did a great job. He did a decent job of distributing as well too. So let's give our flowers and respect to the Black Keeper Union. Maybe captain of the Black Keeper Union. Mendy?
Well, I think you guys have to say about that until today, because I know there's one person that might have something to say about that.
Yeah, I think it's at least until a certain somebody is, no longer MIA.
Yeah, there's someone that's greatly undue as far as being able to play this year. That we'll definitely go in that until September. But at least while he's gone, it's got to be Mendy. It's got to be.
Got to be. Been a long time.
I mean, I'm sure Bill Ahmed has something to say about that.
If anything, it's Andre Blake.
No, Andre Blake. Yeah.
No, but I was saying, remember, Bill Ahmed is always like, "Yo, check my stats, check my record, son."
Put some respect on my name. But I mean, he definitely, he has a case as far as here on stateside. I mean, I've for the longest time, like it took me a really long time to really realize like why there weren't as many MLS keepers going over to Europe, because I was like, if nothing else, it's about, are you at least stopping shots? And then I realized that it's about playing to the ball now, and basically being like your version of Manuel Neuer. And I'm like, if they're stopping shots, so what's the problem?
Well, that's the thing about it, is like at the end of the day, keeping the ball out the back of the net, that's priority one. But as we see, as the game is progressing, the position has progressed so much, is now that there's always that adage of that keepers are the last line of defense, first line of offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the first line of offense has been so emphasized nowadays, especially with the new rule with the goal kicks, the players coming in now with goal kicks like that. That first decision you make off a goal kick, that determines the first point of attack. And so keepers being with their feet now, I mean, you have to be that 11th field player. Truly.
You know what I'm always reminded of the big Donovan goal back at the 2010 World Cup, and how that started off of an outlet pass from Howard.
Right.
And he basically like shot it like over to the right wing, like a good 60 yards, like boom, and it was like off of the race, like right there off the jump. So there's definitely a lot of validity to that statement as far as just being able at first point of contact, as far as it can set up a counterattack just like that. So
it's like that iconic goal with Liverpool with Alisson to what's his name, Mo Salah, when Alisson made that pass to run to Salah, and he ran the whole length of the field to celebrate with him. I mean, like, that's the way
that was me. That was me.
That's right. Let me show you the flat line. I'm sorry. Check out the fight path.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I'll admit, like, myself as a player, like, I got giddy every time I got an assist or a hockey assist as a kid. Like, I would count that in my stat. And there's nothing like that feeling of knowing that not only am I able to keep the ball out of the back of the net, but now I'm the one who helped create a goal. Because, 10 times out of 10, keepers aren't scoring. Unless you're, Chilivert or, unless you're some freak of nature like that. But other than that, like, that feels like you're scoring a goal.
Hold on, who was the keeper down in Brazil that got so many goals? It's but no, he was doing free kicks. I think that's what it was.
Well, Jose Luis Chilivert, who came from Paraguay. He was known for taking free kicks.
Okay.
And so he used to have this iconic goalkeeper kit where he had a bulldog or something on his kit too. Jose Luis Chilivert, I think he has probably I want to say something crazy over 20 to 30 goals or something like that. No, this is intern. We need an intern to check that stat. But Jose Luis Chilivert was the primary free kick taker for Paraguay, and then also for his club team as well, which I can't remember what club team he played for. But he is known for scoring goals. And it's interesting too because if we're really going down this goalkeeper. Weeds and everything.
You've been talking about for a while that we need to do a goalkeeper.
I'm telling you, man. Let me go down this goalkeeper rabbit hole. Like when you go through these goalkeeper training courses and everything like that, and these coaching courses for goalkeepers, they all talk about there's no reason why a goalkeeper should not be considered for taking PKs and free kicks, because again, that whole mindset and adage of a goalkeeper is the 11th field player in the team. Why Sergio Ramos is a primary free kick taker? Why can't a goalkeeper be a primary free kick taker? And so,
yeah. And I know who I'm thinking of now is Rogério Ceni. He played for Sao Paulo in Brazil. He's got he's the all-time leader in goals for goalkeepers. He's got let me look here, over 100 goals. It's actually kind of wild. When you think about it, he peaked. He had 20 goals in 2005 as a keeper. That's just insane.
Good job, stat boy. Good job.
Hey, But no, I heard him. I just hadn't. I went ahead and had to pull double duty for the intern.
iPad. All right. I don't need no thinking in one chip.
But yeah, man. Congrats to your boys. Of course, so that's now the FA Cup coming up, Champions League Final coming up, and so Tony tried to stop me earlier, but I guess we got to at least acknowledge that they're playing Man City in the final, and I don't know. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, so you might have quasi support for the final. TK quasi.
It's by proximity.
You're funny.
You're close to us, so yeah.
Is this a picture of Mason Mount?
If you want to be.
Oh my god.
No, but of course, U.S. agent, he set up that goal. So
hey man, I want to hate on him a little bit, honestly, but he's working hard.
Nickname, huh?
He's working hard. Yeah, he is working hard on that too.
Keep it up.
His name.
It might stick. Well, it's interesting too because obviously, we talk about a black keeper union. Either way, there's going to be a black goalkeeper walking away with a chip.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Stephen is not getting the first call of this. He's not getting into the first 11 for City side.
Mm-hmm.
But Mendy, obviously, for the Chelsea side. So that's good for the black keeper union to see that one of them is going to be walking away with a Champions League medal. But even with that being said, dare I say I might be cheering a little bit for Chelsea?
You already are, Tony. It's pretty safe to say you already are.
It really is a lesser of two evils.
Yeah, because
it really has come to that.
It's funny because I was of course tweeting during the game day, and someone tried to compare Man City to the Yankees. I was like, hold up. First of all, that's an insult to the
One
Yankees.
title.
Right. They have a history before 2010. So yeah, start there.
Do people realize 20 plus years ago, City was like in third division damn near? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
Big time, no, man. A lot of people.
And that's
shout out JR.
What's so funny is like, being a coach and dealing with this younger generation of kids. And I've talked to the players and they tell me who their favorite teams are, and they're like, City. And I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, because I'm like, and it's like this whole new generation because they're youngsters.
That's their generation. That's the team on top for that generation. Yeah.
Right. And so, back in my day, nobody would never say City. Honestly, no. And if you did say City, you were a weirdo.
Yep.
Like, I'm being real, especially if you're an American saying that you're a City fan. That means you like, I'm trying to find that.
You're trying to find some obscure,
right?
Like people know them but don't really know them.
Like, I see what you're a City. Yeah, I get it. Nice to meet you, man.
Exactly.
It was on some hipster shit 15 years ago. Now it's like, it's on trend now.
It's some Patriots type shit, So it's or I should say Tampa Bay Bucks shit.
Right.
That's really what a City man is now.
But no, I was talking on Twitter and I was like, because they were like comparing this like Chelsea and Real was like Patriots and Lakers to go play City, who are the Yankees. I was like, there's just so much wrong with this analogy and everything. Because I was like, first of all, Real is more like Alabama, and it's more like the enemy that you know, and Man City is UGA, and it's like, you can't have UGA winning shit. You just can't. You can't do it.
Oh wow! I got a lot of UGA friends that will probably say something about that.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what? But you know what though? It's you could say it's an insult to Man City because at least Man City's won shit. So yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll take that smoke. I will gladly take that smoke.
I mean, Jordan won since the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. 41 years. 41 years.
City, they do a lot of self-sabotage, though. That's not really their style. It's much more Arsenal and Spursy.
But I will say, though, of course, this is Pep Guardiola's first Champions League final in 10 years. His first final without Barcelona. For the longest, I was like, he might have to go back home to get a taste of the big ears. But
been trying for 5 years with you guys over here in Manchester.
So what's all right? Let's look at the two different scenarios.
Okay.
If Chelsea wins, what does that mean for the season and the ecosystem of football? And then what does it mean if City wins in the ecosystem?
I don't know, because I mean, I talked about this last week. Like both of their owners are already rich as fuck. So it's
I guess more so. Okay, so the fact that City has ran the EPL,
mm-hmm.
and they've had that shit pretty much wrapped up for the longest. They have probably been the most dominant team and next to what Bayern did for a while. Bayern was looking very scary for a minute.
Yeah.
But next to that, City has probably been the most dominant team in all of Europe. So it's kind of like playing out to how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably say out of that bunch, I mean, you have City, Bayern, and probably a distant there would probably be PSG, and
distant by a country mile.
Right, and of course they shit the bed again in the second leg. I'm like, it's funny, it was almost right at the same time in the second leg that they melted down the first leg. I was like, that's some airy ass shit that you just basically just fall apart at the exact same time in two games.
Very interesting statistic you pointed out there, Grego. It's almost like they've been coached to do so.
Like now.
I mean, when you have a coach that doesn't really care about winning trophies, then
He gonna learn. He gonna learn. He gonna learn. Yeah, so yeah, we need these trophies.
Those decisions,
especially if I know they're trying to re-sign Mbappe. I think they were pretty close to re-signing Neymar, but it's like, of course, they might look at that and be like, you know what? What you got, Tony?
My new favorite rumor. Oh, can I talk about my new favorite rumor?
What's up?
My new favorite rumor right now is you see all those pictures with Sir Alex walking out with PSG president?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and so like everybody's speculating right now. So like the first speculation is like, oh, that means Mbappe's going to United. I don't think that's happening. I really don't think that. No, sorry.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible, but yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. But then two, what was the second part of that rumor? I think it was matter of fact of Heize. Oh, I'm sorry for the culture audience. My bad. Well, the first rumor, Mbappe going to United. I don't think that's happening. And then someone was saying, I think someone said something stupid that Sir Alex was trying to come out from retirement and coach at PSG. I was like, oh, okay.
Nah, but I'm looking forward to his movie coming out though, because I just saw the trailer for it earlier today, and definitely looks interesting. Like it definitely goes into, of course, his family life, his coaching career, and how he took the United job. Apparently, he was kind of discouraged against taking it because United was in a shit situation.
That situation, people don't realize like how razor thin that situation was, and the fact that like his first season it was absolute crap. Like that situation, that scenario could have been like totally different. And so, we always look at judging, coaches in their first years and tenures, and we always like, oh my gosh, they're horrible.
But that's the thing though, because like I remember like when David Moyes succeeded on Sir Alex, and the idea was that he would be given the same amount of leeway that Sir Alex was when he first took the job, because like it took him like a good 6-7 years before he won his first trophy. And I'm like, man, that is in a totally different situation. Fast forward to 2014, and you're like, yeah, like you have to understand that like United went like 20 straight years were not even finishing below third. Not like, never mind top four, it's like top three.
No, yeah, and third was a failure.
Yeah, yeah.
Third was a failure.
And so it's and of course you've seen like how since Sir Alex, she has basically been yo-yoing between second and I think the lowest we did was like seventh, I believe. So like
6th or 7th, yeah. 6th or 7th, yeah.
So yeah, it's like that's the standard there that if you ain't meeting at least this, it's a good chance you ain't gonna last.
But you know what? Like even during those dog days, finishing like 6th or 7th or whatever, I never showed my land temper.
Oh man, yo.
You like
people don't be thinking when they talk. People just don't be thinking. It's like you just like.
So Greg,
do people just assume
my land temper reference for the culture, please?
Go ahead.
Well, basically during the PSG match against City, Angel Di Maria caught a red card, and he kind of, as typical as all soccer players pretty much do, is to get in the face of others and everything like that. And then commentator said something to the effect, which I didn't hear because I had the game on while I was in a meeting, so I had it on the background. But someone in my WhatsApp group for the office was like, yo, the commentator just said is Latin temper. And I'm like, no, he did not say that. I know he didn't say that. It's 2021. He didn't say that. No. And so, apparently, the commentator did say that Angel Di Maria was displaying his Latin temper while showing his disgust with the decision for the red card.
I have a hard time just understanding that term. So I'm like, okay, because we've heard it before, loosely, and it's like, you mean to tell me that Latins, Hispanics somehow get more upset than we do, or white people? They ain't out here shooting up the
schools, churches,
and no.
Storming capitals.
Right.
I mean, like.
Hold my beer.
Right.
Yeah, seriously. I'll hold it, TK. I'll hold it.
You need to get the effects together. Intern. No, it's a hot mess. And, and that's what happens when you deal with people who, I don't want to generalize them too wildly, but at the same time, it's like,
why not? He generalized right there with the statement of Latin temper.
I think
true.
For
you got me there.
ABG.
But just like, how do you just be that ignorant in the moment? It's like to put it on. That's how.
You know what? I think it's probably because he had he might be diabetic and his low blood sugar count was probably.
Oh wow!
Honestly, there's a reason for a lot of these things. He probably had a bad day. He's got a bad call.
He had a bad day. Had a bad day.
I ran into that at Dunkin' Donuts, man, like 2 months ago. I stopped going to that Dunkin', but I walked in there. I was like, "Hey, is this my order? Can I grab my order?" And the guy was like, stared through me, and I said, "Is this my order?" Like, yeah. Then they called me a bitch ass nigga.
What is this? Please, I want to roll up this.
Oh man, you know where I work at, man. Midtown, West Side.
Oh, hold up, the one around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, we rolled up deep in the Dunkin'. We coming, bro. We coming.
Ain't nothing like being called a bitch ass.
Yeah. So it was that happened. I don't know how we got sidetracked here. Sorry about that, folks. But long story short, I turned around, confronted him on it, and asked him if he was having a bad day. so the point of the story is, people have bad days.
I mean, it's funny, like how CBS basically reached out to them quick. It's like, yeah, you're apologizing. Hey, we're not waiting for the break. We're not waiting for some action to stop. It's like, nah, you get that apology in right now.
Man, that's BS, man. Paul Pierce can't go on live and have a good time, and he gets fired right away. Why does this dude get fired right away on spot? In fact, they should air it. Listen.
You know what the wild thing is, Derek?
Bob, here's your pink slip.
You know what the wild thing is there? Is that you had this commentator's name is Jim Beglin, and then you also had on that coverage you had Jans Lehman in the post game, and he had his own incident. Not even 24 hours later?
Maybe it's the network, man.
Hey, no, because we will not besmirch CBS too much as long as they got Alex Scott and Kate Abdo and her pink hair.
Hey, man, you can't see this is how every bad relationship continues.
Oh shit!
Good point. So basically, what we're saying, we had to reset the counter again.
A little bit. But
speaking of which, I wish I had a T-shirt that could help me out with that. Where can I get a T-shirt at?
You know what? You actually can get one from the good people at Horticulture at ftcutd.myshopify.com. Get one there. And on that note,
Graphic, I need a graphic.
on that note,
Intern.
it's something that's been sitting on my spirit for a little bit here. Because obviously that we've been catching a lot of attention with that T-shirt, but at the same time, I do feel that it's important to give back, and especially with a message like that, where obviously we're pointing out the racism, but at the same time, you want to make sure that we're trying to address it in our own way. And I don't have an official announcement on that, but definitely, I definitely feel that that proceeds from future sales should definitely go to a nonprofit that's working towards fighting racism in the game. So stay tuned on that. So yeah, because I have reached out to one in particular and they definitely seem interested in partnering up. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, let's see what else we got here. Oh, I guess we got to talk about our boys, or at least what we try to do on Sunday. Because we tried to play Liverpool, didn't quite work out that well. Yeah, for those of y'all who might have been living under a rock, because this guy actually got a lot of damn coverage.
A lot of attention. Almost as much as the Super League attention. Right.
And almost as much as the storming of the Capitol. Because it
So, can I talk about that? It's interesting you say that, and you
What's
did
up?
that reference, because watching some of the commentary and watching those events unfold and everything, it's interesting that, of course, people were standing by the TVs watching everything, and you're like, you're almost waiting. First of all, it's almost that PTSD for Americans.
right.
Like, oh shit, here we go again. But two, the comments is like, oh my gosh, that rack of violence that happened. I'm like, violence? That ain't violent. Y'all want to see violence? Come to an American event. We got some violence for y'all. Like, we just stormed the Capitol and 5 people were dead. Like, that ain't violent.
They're unruly. They were unruly.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously people, like, at the end of the day, I agree with the reason and purpose of what they were doing. As a Man United fan for 20 plus years or whatever, the Glazers, I've never been a fan of them taking the ownership. And how they've handled things since then have progressively gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And there's no remorse, which is even worse. If you want to paint a villain within soccer, the Glazer family is definitely a top 3 contender as to a villain in soccer. There's definitely a lot of FIFA members that would be involved with that, and a couple of Real Madrid personnel and Barcelona personnel as well too. So, but the Glazers would definitely be top 3 villains as far as the game goes. Even with all that being said, like, there's a lot of Monday quarterbacking about, like, disrupting the game and everything like that. Is it going to be effective and everything? At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be effective. I think they are so stubborn and that hard-headed, and they will dig in even more is because of that. And I don't see anything changing. Kind of like how I feel about racism in America. I don't see anything changing. So
I think the interesting thing there is that because like we're about to have an All England Champions League Final where we could potentially have an All England Europa League Final for the second year in a row, and I think we're definitely in a place of where if I'm English, I'm like, why exactly do I need all these other teams from elsewhere? Because clearly we got the goods over here.
That's a really, really good point you're making there, Grego. It's almost like they could put the math in their head and do it all together to get the answer that the goods, the recipes, and they don't, or all the ingredients are already in England, and they can just build whatever recipe then modify it to their their liking. The Super League isn't not necessary at all.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the way that the EPL set up as far as revenue sharing and everything. Like even like the mid-table and lower clubs, they have enough money coming in where they're able to outspend most of the somewhat bigger clubs elsewhere. So like the competition is actually pretty thick, all things considered, and I think that of course that drives up competition, that drives up TV rights, and people want to watch your product because teams are in their own way attempting to compete, and the EPL is in a very healthy position, I believe, compared to La Liga and Serie A, or even the Bundesliga,
Yeah.
and of course, clearly, League On. And it's
You mean League PSG?
hey, Lil might win this year. Lil just might win, but no, but you definitely have, even for the amount of money that the Chelseas and the Man Cities have and the Man Uniteds have, like it's still a good amount of parity. Like I think like there's only been like one repeat winner in the last decade, and like if even if it's still among the relative powers, the big six or whatever, well, big five because no, big four because Spurs and Arsenal ain't one shit. So slow down. But yeah, I think that uh, they're in a good spot, and clearly they're showing their dominance in Europe as well. So it's like, why exactly, are we joining up with teams that really ain't that can't beat us?
So let me ask this question. So on the actual days of it, Grego, as a Man United fan,
Mm-hmm.
were you upset that the biggest game of our calendar is always against Liverpool? Always.
Right.
As a fan, were you upset that got in the way of that experience?
No, I can't say that I would go as far as to say I was upset. I mean, like I mentioned before in past shows, the connection that those fans there locally have to United, to City, to Arsenal is different from what we have over here, and so for them, it's a big breach as far as just how things have gone basically the last 15, 20 years. Because, like, I think the Glazers took over in 2005. So, and like I said, it was good for a little while, while you still had Sir Alex there. But then eventually he retired, and basically you the organization got exposed for basically not being able to run shit. So, and mind you, like in that time, they've taken out over 2.1 billion pounds in debt. Between you know interest payments, share sales, dividends, directors' fees. Mind you, like remember when they sold Ronaldo for like 100 million, and people were like, they couldn't even use that money towards
No, it was paying off debt, dude.
right. And like that's the kind of thing that um that's the kind of thing that people are up in arms about, is that they've been preaching this for years now.
I mean, there's literally a whole nother club that was created because of the hate towards the ownership. I mean, the fact that a whole team was created because of that. People left, supporters left, Man United as their official team, and were like, you know what, we're gonna start our own thing to support.
but yeah, it's absolutely crazy that it's gotten this far. Of course, my big concern there is just how exactly are you going to make these owners sell, especially in a position where like these are all very independent clubs compared to like what we have over here. So it's like you really have to basically provide a offer that they can't refuse type of deal.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, you said over here, but like if you look at the NFL, it ain't that much different.
It's not. I mean, I
got caught.
But it's different in the sense that, of course, for those of y'all that don't know, anytime an NFL team gets sold, they still have to get the approval from everybody else in the league. Whereas here, basically, it's up to that owner of that club and say, hey, do I want to sell or do I not want to sell? And that's pretty much it. They don't have to run it by anybody else in the league or the FA.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's
so you really have to tell them like, okay, you have to convince them, okay, this is just not going to work. I want to go ahead and cash out and sell, like we talked about last week with the Daniel Ek Spotify situation with Arsenal. It's not too much different here with Man United, and it's going to be a tough deal. I hope that eventually that we can do it, but how do we get there? So, but yeah, we still have. Next week's going to be, because the game got postponed. Next week's going to be an absolute ass. Like we got Aston Villa on Sunday, Leicester on Tuesday, the makeup game with Liverpool on Thursday.
That's what, 3 games, 5 days or something like that?
Yeah, man. So,
but
I mean, it's a good thing that we have that 4-goal cushion against Roma. Because I'd be like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just play bench guys tomorrow.
Got a game every other or a match every other day.
Just about.
So it's interesting too. Like obviously we got this last leg of Roma, and then of course the news broke this week as well as who's going to be taking over the reins of Roma.
Yeah, the man. I mean, you know what? I'm happy for Jose, because I actually do feel that Italy is a better fit for him at this point in his career anyway. Because I feel like, one, there's nobody else that you can really go to in England that can't stand you, and plus with his game anyway, it's not like Italy's ever been known for a great style of attack, so it probably fit for him. Yeah. So I think that he'll do fine there. Vaya con Dios and all that stuff. So, but we're gonna take a quick break, get a quick word from our fam at Protagonist, and we're gonna talk about over here stateside, and what was once 5 is down to 1. We'll be back. It was so cool 2 weeks ago when MLS was looking all right, and all of a sudden,
no, don't do it to me.
I mean, reality set in.
Oh Lord.
I mean, first of all, the home team.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
I mean, I think so. If you really put this in perspective, MLS is just starting their season.
True.
And Liga MX, they're much more further into their season. They're at the end of it, so they're reaching their peaks. If you have an up to speed version of MLS teams in this competition, I think not only what we've shown this season, if we continue to build on that, then MLS is going to win this competition in the next seasons to come. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good battle. Like, this is going to be like, I think how the Champions League was for the last decade, where it was, like a healthy competition is what I'm getting at here. Healthy competition.
I would love to agree with you there, but
You don't think so?
no, because here's what always happens. We 11 versus 11, like your start 11 versus their start 11. In most cases, MLS can hold up. What usually ends up being the real separator is the bench. So like if you like once you have to start going down your bench and you're like, okay, I got a guy that probably would make most um, championship level teams. There's definitely a big problem because like I remember like what was it 2 years ago when we were playing Monterey in Champions League and like they had like a good 6 or 7 guys on the bench that would have been making DP level money in MLS and until I can understand having a cap to an extent, but at the same time, if you have that cap, you got to at least put it to where teams can feasibly compete against basically your neighbors. Like, never mind Europe. That's a whole different tax bracket that you just can't reach. But at the very least, you can compete against the finances for the big teams in Mexico. And if until they do that, until they are able to put quality from top to bottom with most MLS teams, I just don't see it. Like I said, they'll get close. Like I said, with the right draws and the right breaks, they'll definitely be teams that make the finals. But I think in every last one where you have had a U.S. team in the final, it always comes down to like they hold off about 60, 70 minutes and then run out of gas. And the players that you have on the bench don't give you that same quality, and you're left wondering like, okay, what do we do now? So, and of course,
Sounds like you're talking about the men's national team now.
But yeah, the home team they went out against Philly. Philly's a good team. Philly's a good team. Well, what you got?
Yeah. So listen to TK's editorial comment. It's not, being a resident of the state of Georgia, growing up here, born and raised. And as y'all know, football is life team, especially SEC football. That statement that you were saying would sound eerily similar to UGA football. That same type of perspective and commentary was eerily similar. Just how all UGA fans like, this is our year. We got the best recruiting class. Did you see our recruiting class? We getting closer. You see what we did in the SEC championship game? No plan.
Reigning and defending spring football champions.
Sounds eerily similar to how you just stated what the MLS has done. And I'm not going to take, and I'm not trying to totally shit on what your statement was. I know the factor of where each league is in the position of their seasons. That does take effect. I mean, like we always talk about being in mid-season form. Like, you always want to be that, and you want to peak at the right time. If you peak too soon, there's probably all that stuff. Like,
on that note, I actually do think it's very interesting that the semis for the Champions League actually don't take place until September. So a team like Philly, they might be in a very different situation because you'll be further deeper into the season.
They'll be playing probably like 5 games in 3 days.
Right. And but they might be in a situation where they're more informed and able to take on, looks like it'll probably be America here. So, like I said, that they might be able to take their chances. But yeah, I've always had a big problem with just how they schedule the tournament. I know in a couple years they're supposed to finally fix that to where the group stages will happen at this time of the year. But yeah, I think that yes, as long as you have that conflict as far as like where MLS is with their season compared to where Liga MX and everybody else is, it's going to be a problem. But I think that once they bring back the group stages and allow teams to kind of like acclimate themselves into the tournament, you might see some type of bounce, maybe. But again, you definitely have to uh, uh, have that depth in order to compete. Because these teams are, they spin and they're able to spin. Like that's why I don't understand like how this merger is supposed to work if they're still pursuing that. Because Mexico's allowed to spin. We are not. And you're gonna try to tell these teams that okay, what you could do for the last 50, 60 years, you can't do now. So I don't know how that's supposed to work, but it looks like
Golazo is over.
Columbus is out, Atlanta's out, Portland's on the way out, and Toronto got smacked by Cruz Azul. So it's basically going to be just Philly. So we'll definitely see how it goes.
Deflection.
But I will say though, once again, we did not go out on a loss. So.
Really nice.
I'm trying to take the little victories when I can because but especially with the way that we play because I feel that we don't have any credible goal scorers beyond Joseph and Barco, and we played like that on Tuesday. Like if Joseph's still not where he needs to be, Barco's hurt, and basically you have the rest of everybody else was playing as if they're not that type of attacker where they can go after goals like that. So I don't know like how that's going to be addressed, going forward for the actual MLS season, but that's definitely something that they need to address at some point.
What is your take on the little situation after the game with Gabriel and so?
You know what? Like, I tried to like watch the body language there because like it definitely came off like okay, they were mad for like a quick second and they were like excuse me, but I don't understand like why you would get that upset about players pretending to get hurt because it happens all the time, and and trying to do some time wasting and everything. That's prevalent everywhere around the world when it comes to soccer, and so why get upset now? I mean, I don't know if it's just something that just got lost in translation, but I'm like, y'all getting mad over nothing. I mean, seriously. But I did catch Jim Curtin's comments like after the game, and I don't know if it's just a case of like where he maybe felt Heize didn't quite respect him because he's an American coach, and I'm like, all things considered, I don't think the standing of American coaches is particularly high. So I mean, like, unless you're, Jesse Marsh, it's like everyone else has basically just done stuff here. I mean, like Bob Bradley had his little bit of success when he went over to France and I think Norway, but of course he went over to England and didn't do shit. So it's definitely a mixed bag there. So I think that for a lot of I think the stigma that people put against American players is probably even worse for American coaches. So
well, hopefully USA's Jim can change that. Yes, he can.
But yeah, man.
What song was that you were singing?
Oh man, he over here, he over here mixing and making hits, man.
Yeah, you guys don't know. I have a secret life. I do jingles, do voiceovers.
It's like Jamie Foxx did in his own show. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, but I don't have. I'm not making millions off of that comedic.
Yet. Speak that into the atmosphere. Yet.
A lot of people prefer
American coach.
Yeah, there you go. Segue.
Lord Savior Bruce Arena. Put some respect on his name.
No. Because again, all that success is here. Like honestly, And maybe he just got comfortable just staying here. But I feel like, especially given the amount of success that he's had over his career, um, maybe he's a victim of that stigma. But
Victim?
no, because like you're talking about a guy who talk about a guy that has
He's a
six.
victim of it? There's nothing a victim of Bruce Arena. He is
No.
not of anything.
So you mean to tell me that a guy was like 5 or 6 MLS Cups, and either he didn't want to go over to Europe, or nobody ever took him that seriously because it's America?
I'm not gonna speak for the man.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure this man loves the comfort of where he is.
And that's the thing. Like I'll take that, But I'm like, but I also think that, especially for like,
he was God for a long time. You gotta remember
he was, and then he wasn't.
And what I'm saying, but like, you gotta remember, you gotta remember at that time period, soccer wasn't
Right.
It was like
Right. And that's why I'm saying that at the time they likely, even if he wanted to, I don't think they would have taken him that seriously anyway. So I mean, look at like how they did on Bob Bradley when he was able to make it over to Europe. Like they basically, only opportunities that he had was like in Norway and France, the second division in France, and then he got the Swansea job, and like he barely lasted like a month there.
Yep, I think it was,
and that's Bob Bradley. So imagine what they would have thought of as far as Bruce Arena goes. Like they probably would be like, okay, you went over there. It's like,
honestly, I thought Bruce Arena would have got a little bit more of a leash for whatever reason. I just have an eerie feeling that he's got kind of more of the Big Sam persona vibes. And I'm just saying, the dude,
Big Sam of America.
He'd be doing merry-go-rounds on the job, so it's like, Great as a spade.
Slave our club, slave our team.
But it's funny though, because like, of course, he's with New England now. Of course, they beat us over the weekend. I'm like, for whatever he does, it definitely works here. If nothing else, it works here. So, yeah, that's.
Where is Cab when you need him? I need a Cab Hakeem quote right now.
You probably do, because like, it's amazing to me like how much he's able to be successful here in spite of him being him. But yeah, I definitely think that for all the success that he probably had here, I don't think that even if he had wanted to, they wouldn't have looked at him all that serious, especially with where MLS was back then. So yeah, but just to segue from that, so I want to make sure that I could let you guys know. Of course, thank you for everybody that's been ordering the home team culture scarves. The pre-order just ended this past Sunday, and my hope is that we will have them ready in time for our next home game on the 15th. It might be the week after, but I'm in touch with Die Hard now to get everything put together with them. And again, thank you for everybody that made orders. And we will probably be ordering a few extras for those of y'all who wanted to get on one but just couldn't because just how your checks fell and everything. But yeah, definitely thank you for everybody that already made orders. Of course, keep making orders for what's still on the site at ftcutd.myshopify.com. Name sets. TK's your boy Bradley's about to have some real sick for the finals. So
I don't know if he's on my Discord server as well, but I introduced that, or rather proposed the 3-word review, or what we thought last week. But there's a lot of witty stuff going around, and the Cobra Kai is definitely one of those. But Kai's Dojo, he's been killing it. Yeah, I can go on. But shout out.
But yeah, definitely. Of course, we definitely appreciate the support. It definitely helps us continue to grow and everything. And so definitely show your love, show your support. FTC, UTD, shopify.com. Of course, I haven't brought it up in a while, but of course, for those of y'all, because I know most of our listeners are on Apple, make sure that you give us a good rating on there. Let us know your thoughts. Give us your feedback on there.
We'll give you a shout out
on our YouTube channel as well. We definitely appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the support and everything. And just try to make it work for you guys. But let's get up in this 2 up and 2 down. TK, what you got?
women's football. It's the thing nowadays. So want to shout out to the pinnacle of that, which is currently Chelsea Football Club. The uniforms look like this. You got the 3 on it. You might, I've seen it once or twice before. But
y'all can make the men's women's sweep.
To do what we've done now is an accomplishment. So just incredibly proud, incredibly happy. I was looking up flights for the for the final earlier today. If you leave on Sunday, stay till Wednesday. I think it's like 1,100 from Atlanta, Turkey, Istanbul. So, man, get you. And then I don't know. I'll think about it. I think I'd rather use that money for the World Cup in 2026, but I digress. And then I guess the other half of that up could be for the men's. So I'm just elated with Chelsea. It's nice stuff going on. But I just want to throw another sneak into the up end. Maybe is shout out to Doge, man. If you're on it, you're on it. But it's been blessing my life, and hey, I'm all about it for now. And invested in some other cryptos, so been able to do some things I've been wanting to do and take care of some other things. And maybe I'll have a home and sooner than later.
So you need to get some culture coin up in there. So.
Yeah, well, the culture will be inserted at the World Cup 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's where my Doge is going. I'm saving that. I'm gonna double down whatever I got to do. Put it in a little piggy bank. Make sure I got my money right when it comes time to buy those tickets. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No downs?
My down is for anyone who doesn't take my referral to go to go invest, because literally last week, Doge, for example, was like 30 cents. Man, y'all could have. It's like 60 cents now. Could have doubled your money. But I don't know if I have any downs, man. In reality, I guess we'll see. I'll let you know next week. So just be content with it. Be happy with it. Life's good. Happy for every one of them.
Cool. We'll step in up here. Back this camera up.
That's a nice shirt.
I know, right? Vibrations. Shout out to our homegirl Vera. And but yeah, to touch on a follow-up from a few weeks back, back during the start of the NWSL Challenge Cup, there was an incident down in Houston with Sarah Gordon of the Chicago Red Stars, where police confronted her and her boyfriend, and definitely they were confronted them, but didn't do anything with everybody else that was coming on to close to the players and stands post game and everything. The league came back, Monday, and they were like, we finished our investigation and no other punishments will be placed on Houston or anything. And, it's more the same as far as, it's not like people are just making the shit up. Like, why would you even make something up about that? So you're basically saying that, yeah, we don't believe you. And that's sending a very bad message, especially as you have a league that's, continuing, that's growing in real time. So, and the more attention that they get, the more instances like this can definitely derail that growth. So NWSL, you definitely got to do better on that. Of course, they have their Champions Cup final this weekend with Gotham and I think it's Houston, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and make sure on that. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, just make sure that you check that out. And yeah, so it's definitely been a really good tournament, and it's Portland and Gotham. So that's on Saturday and on Big CBS. So check it out. But aside from that, are we all vaxxed? Are we officially all vaxxed now? Everybody got. I know. Coach got that one-hitter quitter.
Got that one-hitter quitter, baby.
Oh.
Bam! I'm all vaxxed. Bam! How you looking over there, TK?
I hit you once.
Okay. So
because I don't have to hit you twice. You did.
So yeah, I think we are all ready to hit these streets. So that's an absolute up.
Let's all dog the fair. Facebook events. The invites are going out soon.
Bro, you ain't left the streets, man. You've been living in the streets, bro.
Honestly, I have not. It's funny because one of my coworkers was talking about that today. I was like, I have not done shit. Like I actually went to go down to see I have a new cousin that's moved into the area. They're like down in like Fairburn, and like Jesus, that's just a long ass drive. And
that's down the street.
From you. Down
the street, bro.
Yes, it's a real nice house though. But so it's definitely good to get some time with the family and everything. Stay tuned. This could probably be a potential a major down for the Champions League, depending on your perspective. But it looks like they're coming close to placing sanctions on the teams that did join the Super League. So stay tuned for that one. I don't want to speak too soon on that as far as what they officially rule and everything, but
serves them right.
But looks like some teams that might be missing some action for a good amount of time.
Serves them right.
And then lastly, for those of y'all who like South American football, the Copa America this summer is going to be on Fox. So I'm always advocating for getting more exposure to the game. So if definitely check it out on Fox this summer. They also have the Gold Cup as well. So yeah, about to get all the all y'all can stand. Fuck. But yeah, of course, weekend is Mother's Day, so definitely shout out to all the mamas out there, and that's all I got. What you got, Tony?
I guess segue into what you were saying about these teams that are going to be missing Champions League action. To segue into my down, I'm only going to highlight one down is, I'm always a representative and ambassador for the Black Keeper Union.
Done, man. BGKU.
No, but as far as the Black Keeper Union, there was a big decision that was made on as far as Andre Onana, goalkeeper for Ajax, and he's from Cameroon. Young brother's been doing a great job in his stint there, but unfortunately, he has been handed down a horrific ban for a full 12 months a year for any type of action with the club, training. It's ridiculous, and it's because they're calling it a doping ban, and it was because one night he had a headache or something like that, and he took the pills from his pregnant wife's container, which looked very similar to your normal aspirin, Tylenol, headache type of stuff or whatever. And because of that decision, they have said that he was trying to, take a masking agent or other doping. And so with that being said, even with the forensic CSI type of evidence that they've gone into it, they realize that it was like truly what he is stating. They are still implementing this 12-month ban. And not only are they implementing this 12-month ban, he can have like no interaction with the club. He cannot train at the facilities. He cannot be on any type of property with them. And so, of course, that's impacting any type of progression for his development.
Right.
He can do everything on his own at his own place and everything like that. And
That's
so,
wild.
It's a bunch of BS. This brother, it sucks.
Yeah.
So that's my down for the Black Keeper Union. Andre is hopefully
because like if not for Mendy, yeah, I think he's definitely pretty much like up there as far as tops in the game. Because I honestly I'm surprised that especially given the run that Ajax had a couple years back. It's like I'm shocked that he's not at a top 10 club.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was gone last year.
Yeah.
I thought he was gone.
It's because we couldn't get him at Chelsea, and we ended up with Mendy.
Damn, that sucks for y'all.
Truth be told, because we got Hakeem,
Yep.
and we were figuring we could backdoor our way into that one. Didn't work out, but it did work out.
And y'all really are struggling right now.
Right.
I look like the snake was struggling today, but I believe we're still in your down, sir. Or
I mean, that's the only down my highlight. As far as ups go, my first up I'm going to go with is that this weekend, Soccer in the Streets, who I work for, we having a big tournament on the south side here. And just, during this COVID era and everything like that, and that we're doing this tournament and these last several weeks that we've been doing our seasons, it's been great to see the communities. And I'm talking about like all the several different neighborhoods of Atlanta. So Vine City, West End, Lindbergh, College Park, East Point, like all these different neighborhoods. And like they're playing in a tournament we set up for them this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that this weekend. But also just knowing that like to see the smiles on the kids' faces and the families and the parents, and they're like, yo, like it's good to be back out playing again. So that definitely is an up. That is what I do. That is why I do it. And so feeling good about that. And then the second up is this past weekend, I went golfing with my daughter for the first time.
What?
And, golf has been something that has kind of like crept up into my last 5-6 years of my life. And as anybody who golfs, it becomes, an expensive hobby. But, it's something where you just like start getting addicted to. And she has been taking an interest into it. So I bought her her first set of clubs
Oh.
about a week and a half ago, which is an investment too. God damn.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Now we don't talk about this thing.
Bro, I'm just trying to get that damn scholarship. You know
Girl, you got this invoice to pay.
But like what's crazy is that like she has taken an interest in it, and her and I have been playing around, messing around with it. Even after we played, for a full 9 holes or half, if you want to go with that. Even when we got home, she wanted to go in the backyard again and hit some more balls.
Oh wow.
And so like, seeing her, and we all don't know, she's only 6 years old right now, and she is very, her attention is like that of a squirrel. So for her to stay attentive during that time period and to want to do it afterwards too, like it's speaking volume. So I'm feeling good about that. And so just so y'all know, the next Cheyenne Woods is coming down the pipeline. Y'all don't know who that is, so you have to look it up.
Look it up.
So obviously by the last thing, that should give you a hint as to who she might be related to. But anyway, so yeah, that's my other happy father-daughter time. And yes, again, shout out to all the moms out there. It's Mother's Day weekend coming up this weekend, and for those whose moms who have passed, Grego, of course, we want to give a shout out to those moms who have built these great individuals that we get to work with, but then also the moms who are in the trenches right now, momming it up. We give a shout out to y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Memphis' mom, shout out to Mama Carter, shout out to Katie, all the mamas in the culture. We love y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all.
Mama's mom.
And so hopefully your day on Sunday, and hopefully your weekend is a good one. And of course, this weekend we got I know here stateside we got the home team plays Miami down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, excuse me, and
right.
and then also
Carroll City, baby, baby.
And then also El Trafico is this Saturday night on Big Fox. So yeah, we'll definitely have a bit to talk about on those games next week.
Of course,
I hope we'll win. I hope.
I like three words. 3 words. I hope we'll win. I love it. Tony?
Are you talking about a Lane United game, or are you talking about...
I was actually talking about El Trafico.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about El Trafico. El Trafico home Galaxy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go... Actually, I think I'm a Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm going Galaxy. The momentum is in the Chicharito, the little P's way. All right.
Seattle kind of put them into place last weekend, but I think they just might bounce back.
Yeah, they need to, just to show what they got. But I think I'm actually going to go contrarian, so we're going to go with L.A. Not to mention I'm not really a big Chicharito fan. So, that's just, he was at United. It was the whole thing. He always used to score against Chelsea, like in the last 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the match.
Still got my Chicharito shorts, man.
Yeah, Chicharito, he was a bogey for Chelsea. So I personally, I'm not a fan, but whatever. We'll see how that match goes. Continue.
Yeah, that's all we got this week. Again, mamas, enjoy your weekend. Of course, check us here on the socials on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at FTC. And of course, again, feedback on iTunes, feedback on YouTube. We definitely do appreciate that. But yeah, and again, thanks to everybody that got the home team scarves. Next time we'll have a bigger update on that next week. But yeah, until then, enjoy your games this week. For Coach, for TK, me, Gregor, the coach is real. Coaches everywhere. Can't believe y'all made the final, man. But yeah, we will see y'all soon, and we out.